Welcome back to another episode of Brews Bravery. We got Floyd and Ryan here. We're working on the third boss, Lotheb, of the heroic second wing of Naxxramas. How'd you get things going on this one, Floyd?
So I made a pre-stack, had a lot of healing and a lot of moderate damage. I mean, there's a couple of minions that you can use Shadow Word Death and Shadow Word Pain against, but it's not a whole lot, so you need to kind of be able to kill spores whenever you can and buff your minions up. So this opening, I swear to God, happened to me about 3 or 4 times where I had a priestess, I had a cleric, I had Shadow Word Death. I was able to kill that minion that he spawns with, kill the spore, and then he would just kill my cleric every single time. No, it was not very awesome. So again, the same opening hand. We got
Anything
back
off
into
the
it.
start here that is particularly interesting, that like good combos or cards to look for when playing this deck to work off at the beginning?
In the beginning, you really want to just get rid of that 3/6 taunt because it's really hard to get anywhere else, and he will just rush you down with that Fen Creeper if you're not able to take care of it quickly. So if you can take care of it on turn 2, do it. He will throw down the Charger again. He threw down the Charger, attacked into the Cleric. I'm going to attack the Spore. I'm going to buff her up, and this time he skips the Cleric. So I'm actually feeling kind of good because now I don't have to worry about it, and I can heal her back up and trade some more and get some more value out of her, which is great. I'm not actually sure whether... Yeah, okay, so I do end up healing the damn cleric. There we go. Getting another card draw out of it. You want to try and keep your hands full of cards, because if you can outlast the game to the point where he doesn't have that many cards left anymore, it becomes a lot easier. The only thing you have to just hold on to is keeping yourself healed and just wait for heals. And then Poison Seeds will screw you over at almost every turn, because you'll have a bunch of minions buffed up, ready to go. Like you got, an 11-4 and all this nonsense, and then he just Poison Seeds it. Now you got a shitty little 2/2 Trent, and you're not feeling too great about it. But just keep healing yourself up.
I can see the heal is really important in this deck, right? Like a lot of the construction, it's really outlasting and making sure you have a deck that you can heal yourself up so that you can like maintain while you work them down for a long period of time. Like rush decks, like warriors or hunters. I could see people having a really hard time working through it.
Yeah, absolutely. Having a Holy Nova in there is great because you can also heal your minions. Because when he does do a Spore Blast, it does 1 damage to all your minions. So if you play any 1 damage minions, unless it's like an Elven Archer where it can actually attack the Spore and buff the rest of your minions up, it's not really worth it because he's just going to kill it with a Spore Blast. And because every single turn he does that Necrotic Aura, it does 3 damage to you every turn, you need to be able to out-heal that as best as you can while still being able to keep your minions alive. So there's just a lot of heals going out at every single turn to try and keeping everything alive.
Yeah, it's just a constant, it's like filling up a leaking bucket, like a screen door on a submarine, just leaking out blood everywhere, always getting hit, but you got to do your best to keep it topped up.
Absolutely, and then you even have Holy Fire for stuff like this, where, deal 5 damage, heal yourself 5 damage, trade out one of the Trents because they're useless now. And then just keep going for face. Yeah, it's a little bit of damage right now. I'm kind of just hoping for a Spore. I'm not going to play anything else. I got the Shield Bearer there, so even if I do kill a Spore, he's now an 8/4, which is really useful to me. And then you're going to have a couple of really hard turns where you really need to think about how to do stuff in the right order, because he'll throw out minions that have certain death rattles, and you can use those death rattles against him. So whether it's killing one of the ghouls or an abomination or whatever it is, you want to be able to kill everything while keeping a lot of your stuff alive. So at this point, I'm thinking about how I'm going to take care of that ghoul and still take care of that Spectral Knight or whatever, and still keep some minions on the board.
Definitely.
So I do
that
sack
board
the minion,
control is always just crucial in things like this. Like, and then with those death rattles, just wiping everything out, just keeping things on the board so that you can actually put out damage and go to face is always a challenge with these heroic mode bosses.
Absolutely.
Just always seems to have ways of clearing the board just so that they can maintain that constant control and aggression.
Yep. And then on this turn, he even faceless, a 3-cost minion just because he wanted that extra taunt out there. So at this point, again, same thing. Best way around this to keep your minions alive. If you have any 1 health minions, you obviously want them to no longer be at 1 health. You want them to be at 2, because one of those is going to explode and do 1 damage to everything. But it also does 1 damage to his minions, so now it's at 1-2, and I can kill it. I still got my shield bearer alive, really hoping for a spore. Gargoyles are definitely going to start to help you out a little bit later in the game. If you draw them earlier, that's great. Use them and get them out there and start buffing them up as best you can. And I lose my shield bearer like an idiot. But the gargoyles, because they heal up every single turn, if he plays something and doesn't kill it, he immediately heals right back up. So even every time he does a spore blast and does 1 damage to everything, he's not going to kill your gargoyles. So you can end up using those gargoyles' momentum to start ramping up some damage, because you have to go from 99 to 0 without dying.
Yep. That is definitely a long way to work down, especially with these, the unfair abilities and things that these heroic mode bosses get. It is definitely a trial to work your way through it, I can see.
Absolutely. And then so once you start, like I said, once you get down to the point where he no longer has any cards, the game becomes a lot easier, because like he's throwing out friggin' leper gnomes at this point. So as long as I can keep healing myself, keep myself alive, keep getting minions out there that can do a little bit of damage at a time, even if I get a little bit of card draw, I'm gonna use it immediately so I can get something else out there. Voodoo Doctor, I'm only using them for the heals, because I know that when a Spore Blast comes, it's just gonna die. But right now, I'm only doing 9 damage at a time. Really wish I had another Spore Blast. There we go. There it is. So now I can get another Spore, buff up those 2 gargoyles, and just start going to town on them.
Nice. Yeah, it is. It's definitely cool once you finally flip things in your favor. It just feels so awesome to have control over that board. It's one of the funnest feelings in the game, when you just have your army of minions ready to just mash face.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. And like I said, it does get to a point where he's just going to start playing whatever he can. You can throw down whatever minions you have just to keep it going. And
look how powerful you look right now. You're your little priest. You got your hand out. You're like, charge forth, minions, into battle!
So there you go. That's our heroic Lotheb kill. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support our channel, head on over to http://www.offergb.com/HEB for your free 30-day trial and audiobook.
Alright, well, thanks for watching. Drink beers and be brave. Like, share, and hit the subscribe button.